The Lucena position appears in almost every general chess book and serious endgame manual. Carsten Muller, in his book Understanding Rook Endgames, even calls Lucena possibly the most important position in all of endgame theory. And yet, if you open different books, you will not find the same diagram. Different squares, different rook placements, sometimes even a different side to move. So which one is Lucena? The answer is the Lucena is not a single frozen diagram. It's a structure. The Lucena position is a rook and pawn versus rook ending in which the pawn has reached the 7th rank. The stronger side's king has reached the promotion square. The defending king is cut off by one file, and the defending rook blocks in the king, controlling the file adjacent to the pawn. The position looks winning, and yet the king cannot step out. So how does the stronger side make progress? Let's look carefully. In the presentation of most Lucena positions, it does not matter which side has the move. This is fine for introducing Lucena and teaching the basics. We'll do the same, and in later videos show interesting nuances where side to move does matter, and this will make you a Lucena expert. For now, we must learn the basics. Before discussing any moves, let's make a fundamental and important observation. The pawn, it divides the board into two, resulting in a longer side of the board and a shorter side of the board. All we need to do is count the files from the pawn to the edge of the board. On this side, there are 4 files. On the other side, 3. So this side is the long side and this side is the short side. In this position, we say that Black's king is on the long side of the board. Black's rook is on the short side of the board. Now, how is White going to promote the pawn? White might think that his pieces are in a perfect position, so he will hold the position and force Black to move. Rook d3. But then Black, who also has his pieces in a perfect position, returns the favor. Rook f2. It is evident that this is not the way forward for White. Let's start over. White might play rook e2, adding a defender to the pawn, but Black has any number of replies, rook f3, and White is not making any progress. Returning again to the start, it is evident that White's king must get off the promotion square, and so rook c2 check forces Black's king back, king b7. White might now bring his king out, king d7. But here Black plays rook d1, check. And now, no matter where White moves the king, Black will give check. King d6, rook e1, check. King f7, rook f1, check. And we note that if White strays from the pawn, king g6, for example, the Black rook will threaten to capture it, rook e1. So it is clear that driving the king back is not enough. The White king needs protection from the vertical checks down the file from the Black rook. So after rook c2, check, king b7, White plays rook c4. What is the meaning of this move? Let's see. Black plays rook f2. He has nothing better. White now brings the king out, king d7. Won't Black simply give vertical checks again? Rook d2, king e6, rook e2, king d6, rook d2, king e5, rook e2. And now rook e4. White interposes his rook, blocking the check, and the pawn will promote. This position looks a bit like a bridge, and this technique is called building the bridge. And so we see The Lucena is not about memorizing a diagram, it is about understanding a structure. The pawn divides the board into a long side and a short side. The defending king is cut off. The defending rook gives vertical checks down the file. Promoting the pawn involves building the bridge. The king steps out, the rook interposes, and the pawn promotes. In future videos, we will look at what happens when details change, when the side to move matters, when the defending rook is placed differently, when the defending king is one square off. Because in rook endings, one square is often the difference between mastery and illusion. For now, learn this structure and learn the building the bridge technique. And I hope to see you in the next video.